live. Oh, the circle's going round and round. Oh, here we go. Okay, excellent. Hello, everyone. Karen wins. Hi, Karen. Hello, Joan. Hello, Fiona. Connie and John. Mushroom and prosciutto pizza about to come out of the oven. Fantastic. I agree, Karen. Peter and Karen are finishing the mushrooms. I'm a very lucky girl. My mum's making me mushrooms tonight. How is everyone? I'm feeling a bit exhausted after the last weekend, but what a great weekend. So nice to see some of you here, and the rest of you, I know we're here in spirit. I know Alison, isn't she a good girl? She's so kind to me. And amazingly, it's been a really crappy day and it's cold again, so I've got my hoodie on because it was just very chilly. But the sun's just come out and we're having, hang on, I'm going to see if I can show it to you. It never, hang on, not really thinking that one through very well, Kate. Here we go. Can't really see it, but the light is beautiful out there. It's one of those things that when we first did this, I don't know if you guys remember, those of you who were here in the very early days. Okay. Beef Wellington with steamed veg and chips. Woohoo, nice. Emily, excellent. Joan's special barramundi. How delicious. Barramundi, you listened to me when I said that barramundi is good with particularly the Robinson Pinot. I think it's pretty delish. And I just noticed that the light's making my hair look a bit red, so that's quite nice too. I can't even remember what I started saying half a second ago. Not the beef Wellington. Yes, the beef Wellington. Yeah, no, it was lovely to have celebrations all weekend. We had, I don't know if I told you all of the stuff that we did, but we did. We had an event for cellar door staff on the Friday night that Leonie headed up, and Liz, and they did a beautiful job with a nice big room full of cellar door staff. Hello, Sarah, how you going? And all the tricks. And Meredith, if you're there, I'm sorry I missed you on Monday. It was lovely that you could come in, and Leonie enjoyed meeting you guys. So that was nice. Yeah, so we had a little party for cellar door staff on Friday night, and then it just kind of rolled through Saturday and Sunday in cellar door, Sunday lunch in the dining room in here, and then Monday we did a lunch for trade and beer. So just a very small table of people who've been following the Moorooduc story from the beginning all the way through, who are still good supporters. It was really special. It was a very eclectic little table. Weirdly, we had quite a few people who worked at or owned or had been involved with Italian restaurants, which we kind of thought, well, that's a bit strange. But I think that there's a structural quality to red wines particularly that are kind of simpatico with Italian food, and we do often do Italian food, but we might have to do a bit more Italian food and wine matches with the next box. Hopefully I haven't annoyed you guys too much with a bombardment of emails, and I'm really sorry that I didn't get my email out to you until yesterday, but hopefully you've been able to work out what you're eating. I doubt anyone's doing the mushroom bolognese, but it looks yummy. So I think maybe give it a go some other time. But yes, I was teaching on Tuesday, all day Tuesday, and I was brain dead by the time I got home. Hello, Leonie, in your New World Pinot glass from the Riedel tasting at Yabby Lake. Awesome. We'll have to see if we can maybe do something like that here sometime, Leonie. We were talking about that, so we'll see what we can do. Drinks with Kate live on the, when is it? October the 5th, I want to say. You guys know better than me. It's pretty almost booked out. 8th, thank you, Kate. It's pretty much booked out. So if you were thinking about booking 8th, thank you, Karen. It's in the book. Don't worry. I know when it is. It's just, too much going on in my brain, and I'm not looking at my diary at the moment. It's in the diary, in pen. It's happening. We are just about fully booked. So if you were planning to come along and you haven't rung Linda yet, do it tomorrow. Oh, my God, Alison, you do need to book. Give Linda, send me an email tonight or give Linda a call tomorrow. Well, it's getting to be quite. Linda said, "How many people can we fit?" And I'm like, "I'm not sure. I'll have to work that out tomorrow, but it's getting big, so I'm excited." What else is happening? Let's taste the wine, and then I'll tell you some more news. Emily, you do need to call as soon as possible. We have penciled you in because you were talking to Peter about it the other day. So, but yeah, call and confirm that with Linda because we weren't sure whether that was a definite booking or not. It's going to be so fun. Alrighty, let's get some wine in the glass and then I'll tell you some other stories. Robinson Vineyard Pinot Noir. You're probably wondering about the bottles behind me. I'll tell you about them later too. And Jeremy has, oh, wow, did you guys see Reg jump up? He must have done it just then. Rob and Deb, how you going? Late to the party. Oh, nice, pleasant evening ramble. How lovely. Did you find some mushrooms eventually? I haven't seen Shell and Andrew pop up yet either. So, we're kind of cruising on in. It's a busy life. I understand. But let's have a glass of wine. Well, I wait for my mushrooms to arrive. Robinson Vineyard Pinot Noir 2021. What a lovely way to finish a box. Oh, that was the other news I was telling you. Yes, the bombardment of emails because we just wanted to, we had a couple of those boxes left of that fancy box that we put together for last weekend. Hello, Sonia. How you going? No wine. Oh, sad, but lovely to be near Noosa in Curran. Enjoy. I bet the weather's better there than it is here at the moment. Cheers, everyone. Yes, so I had to get out to all of the mailing list with the information about that little box, but also about the new Drinks with Kate box because I've had a couple of inquiries about what is Drinks with Kate. And we assume that everybody knows what it is by now, but there's new people coming along all the time who've never heard of it. So I thought I'd just do a little zap out to all of them. But then, of course, you guys get that as well as the email yesterday from me, as well as an email from me today. So forgive me. I promise not to bombard you every week with quite so many emails. You can just delete them anyway. So, but the new Drinks with Kate box is out. And we're not starting it until the 12th, which is the Thursday after the 8th of October. So we'll have next week, which we have to decide what we want to talk about next week. So any thoughts? And then the following week, we can get together the following Thursday to have a talk about something else, or we can just leave it and do Drinks with Kate live on Sunday, which Linda also said to me, how are you going to do Drinks with Kate live on Sunday and be talking to the computer as well? And I was thinking that I wasn't going to be talking to the computer, but then I'm like, oh, maybe challenge accepted. But I think that might be too hard. So I think we might not have, Drinks with Kate live will be just live, not also on the computer. Grand final. Hello, Anne. I owe you a phone call. I'm sorry. It's just been mad. I'll call you tomorrow. I promise. Grand final, suitable beverages next week. That sounds quite good. Fizz also sounds good, Fiona. I think both of those things could come together in a beautiful theme. So we'll keep working on that. Pinot Noir. Now, Richard, those snacks in the little bowl are not for you. They're for Polly.
Oh, they're delicious.
Sucky. Oh, Cotty, that could be tricky. Computer-free Drinks with Kate live. I think so, Karen. I think my head might explode if I tried to do it with the computer as well as people in the room. Just too hard. And also, I think it would be weird if I'm talking to the computer and you guys are, we'll get rid of the computer for that Sunday. Might have someone in the back with their phone recording me so that we can put it up somewhere. Don't know. We'll work that out closer to the time. We've still got days and days before that happens. Oh my God, I'm just sorry. I'm just all over the place. I'm feeling a little bit speedy, so I should probably have a deep breath and get into the zone and talk to you about this wine. Shell, hi. Dinner tonight. You made dinner tonight, but butter, fried kangaroo steak and mushies and mashed potatoes. Sounds perfect. So, Robinson Pinot Noir 2021. We released the 2021 single vineyard Pinot Noirs in June, well, at the end of May actually, to our wine club, and then in June on King's birthday weekend to the general public. And it's been really interesting seeing how the 2021 single vineyard Pinots present themselves. And I think I've certainly spoken to Leonie a lot about this wine. Thank you, Nareem. I think this wine is lovely too. It is nice and savoury. It's got a bit more savouriness and herbal notes to it than the Robinson sometimes has when it's young. And it's been a favourite in Cellar Door when we've had it on tasting, and it's certainly a favourite with my Cellar Door team at the moment. Isn't that right, Leonie? Whenever we talk about if we're just going to open one or two of the single vineyard Pinots, Leonie's like, I'm just going to open the Robinson because it's the one that's looking the most delicious right now. And also when you have this and then you have the McIntyre straight after it, the McIntyre is kind of more closed, more savoury, less expressive, and it kind of suffers from coming after the Robinson. So we will do I can't remember, did I put the McIntyre? I don't think I put the McIntyre in the next box. I'm being a tease. I think I put the Garden Vineyard in the next box, but not McIntyre, because we had lots of fun things to look at. But this wine, and Linda likes it best as well at the moment. So we thought if we're going to eke out the 2021 single vineyards over a few boxes, the Robinson's the one to start with. And I think Karen is saying that the wine starts with lots of bright fruit, lots of swelling. It settles to deeper forest flavours very quickly. I agree. So it's very bright fruited. It's got as the Robinson always does, it's got lots of cherry fruit on the sort of the open. But yeah, all those kind of nice earthy, leafy forest floor characters come through really quickly, which is why I thought it might be a bit of a ringer for matching to mushrooms. And I know I always go back to mushrooms often when we're drinking the Robinson Pinot, and it's because I just think it's such a wonderful year in, year out. This wine has a real affinity with mushroom dishes. So finding some different mushroom recipes for you was not a challenge, but just finding something that I thought was going to work and was going to be yummy. I thought was important, but I don't think I gave you enough time to actually prepare them. So, Fiona. Thanks, Pete. Yeah, you're a bit late. We've already talked about the Ecru hoodie. It's definitely hoodie weather again. That little kind of, we had false spring, and then we had like cold weather again. The magpies think it's springtime, right, Jeremy? Jeremy's having a bit of trouble with a couple of magpies that he's not making friends with in the vineyard. So that's a bit traumatizing. But as this wine opens up, I just think it gets more and more delicious. It's almost like raspberry coulis at one stage, and then it goes savoury again. That's all right, Peter. And it's got these lovely kind of herbal notes as well, but it's that sort of lift of sage and a little bit of thyme and a little bit of lavender. Hello, Nina. Yeah, just give them meatballs, Jeremy, and get back to us. Hello. It is a really happy wine, Kay. Bright, sparkly, and then settles into sophistication. I like it, Kay. I always think of this wine as being like someone at a party who comes up to you and wants to like chat and then go and have a dance and all that sort of stuff, whereas the McIntyre kind of sits in the kitchen for a while around the dips waiting for someone to come and engage with it. There's also this really lovely kind of really lovely, almost sort of musky kind of a note, but it's not a lolly musk. It's more savoury than that. It reminds me of sort of a perfume. It's not quite rose petals, but there's a little bit of that. It's not quite violet, but there's almost that. Mushroom bolognese, absolutely. Peter, did you make it? Are you making it? Did you make it? I really hope that someone made it, because I haven't made it yet, and I think it sounds delicious, and I want someone to tell me that it's delicious with the wine. That wine has got beautiful tanginess to it on the palate. It's really red fruited, cherries and raspberries on the palate. It's got a beautiful acid line. The Oh, for the magpies, mushroom bowling. Oh, meatballs. Oh, right, Peter. Nina, I thought you were talking about Jeremy, not me. Jeremy's decided that he's been trying too hard to multitask, and he's not going to. He might not join us tonight. I think he was feeling a bit overwhelmed. But that's okay. I've got people texting me now. Let me just put my phone on silent. Good. Excellent. Good with the duck. Excellent with the cheese. Good work, Anne. Yeah, it's really interesting, the nose, because it kind of goes from that real floral fruit character, and then it gets all savoury, and then it goes back again. It kind of vacillates between the two. Maybe that's just my mood today. Might also be the mushroomy things coming around the back. Alison, love that hanging around the dips. I heard this week's humming like an old fridge, which I loved. That's great. That sounds like me. Yeah, it's opening up nicely. I think it's a wine that you can really enjoy on its own, and it is, as I say, it's a wine that Leonie's been selling very enthusiastically at Cellar Door, because it just puts on a good show straight away, ready to go. Who else has liked it? I was just trying to think. We've had some nice Kate Maggie's. Yeah, I know. There's a bit of football excitement going on. There's I'm not even going to talk about football because I'm not a very good football supporter. I must say that the team that I purport to follow is still in until this weekend, but I don't think we're going to win. Carlton. Anyway, oh look, here come my snacks. Thank you, Jill.
Oh, she trips over the cord.
Oh, don't trip over the cord, Jill. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, she throws the mushrooms all over the computer. Thank you, Jill. I'll show them off. They're gorgeous. Thank you. So these are leftover fairy savouries from the specially made fairy savouries for me, like the fairy savouries that Jill made on the weekend. So these are gorgeous little baskets of pastry that Jill learnt to make. I know, aren't they gorgeous? Jill learnt to make these from her mother, and her mother got the little iron that makes them this shape from her cousin, who brought it back from. It's a little cast iron thing that you dip into the batter, and then you dip into the oil, and they fry, and they make them this shape. It's really, really fine. Some of you have had them before. They had creamed corn in them on the weekend. They got mushrooms in them, of course, today. I'm going to struggle to eat one and keep talking to you. So I'm going to hold it for you to look at for a little while I keep talking, and then I'll shove it in my mouth. But Mum was having a bit of trouble with these, so she had to have a little seance and talk to her mother about them. And then she got them right, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Had a little chat to...
Yeah. Had to ask Mum what was
had to ask Mum what was going on. This is the iron that we use, that Jill uses to make the fairy savouries, and she revived them for my birthday party last year, and we've been making them. Well, I keep saying we. I have nothing to do with it except for eating them. I very much enjoy eating them. Jill's been making them ever since because we think they're rather lovely, delicate little pastry shells. Thank you, Jill. Oh my God, She's brought me some cheese and some salami and some crackers as well. Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I'll just pop that over there. Thank you, Mum. The dogs aren't eating their dinner either. Is the star mould Norwegian? Peter and Karen want to know. Well, it's from New Zealand. It may have originally been from Norway, but it came from New Zealand when did she get it, Mum? In the 60s or something, was it? Well before that. Long, long time ago.
Maybe even before I can remember I'm making it for Christmas parties.
Very bad television. You probably can't hear Jill. She's saying, and I'm shut. Oh my God, that's so delicious. Hang on, I have to try it with the wine. Oh, Mum, that's fantastic and delicious and wonderful. And Richard, one of your cats is out on the balcony wanting to come in. I think it's Shasha. It's all going on here. So, Mum reckons the star mould came from New Zealand possibly in the 50s or possibly even earlier than that. And she's gone that way, Dad. She's there. Can't see a thing. And Mum's mum used to make them for Christmas. So that's the very convoluted story of the star pastries that we call fairy pastries, which we think are gorgeous and very, very good, Mum. Thank you. I'll keep talking and hopefully manage to slip them in between sentences. But Mum's cooked up the mushrooms with a bit of cream and a bit of salt and pepper. And did you cook them in oil or butter, Jill? Butter, cream, salt, pepper, mushroom, a little bit of garlic. That's really all you need for deliciousness. But of course, everything else works as well. And I think I love the fact that there's beef Wellington out there, because that's steak and mushrooms. And I love the fact that that Joan's done down the barramundi. I think that'd be beautiful. Robin Deb, thyme-flavoured Swiss brown mushrooms on Cotty's delicious pasta with a bit of sour cream. I bet, amazing. So again, that's another Italian kind of flavour profile that this wine will go really well with. I think we're getting somewhere with this. We love early cooking paraphernalia as well, Peter and Karen. The problem is that the food was so delicious it's making my mouth water, and the wine is so delicious it's also making my mouth water. So I'm just going to have a little sip of water to calm everything down. Getting overexcited. Shell wasn't happy with the garlic level of the mashed potatoes, so added crushed raw garlic. Woohoo! That'll keep the vampires away. David's made a lovely rigatoni with mushroom, pinot, porcini, and pork ragu style thing. Sounds gorgeous. Yep. It's very constant, this wine, though. It does evolve, but it stays in that lovely red fruit brightness. It's very young, and it needs lots of time. But on the other hand, it doesn't need any time at all because it's so delicious to drink right now. And I think that's the trick with the Robinson Pinot. It's a Pinot Noir that always is up front when it's young and fresh and bright and crunchy, fruited. And then you think it's not going to age, and then you look at it sort of 8 to 10 years on, and it's evolved into this truffly, mushroomy, earthy, lovely creature. So definitely worth popping some of this in the cellar. But I think that a lot of bottles will get drunk very early on, because I think it's difficult to not drink this because it's so yummy. It's just my opinion. 2021 as a vintage, all of the wines have really lovely acid line to them, and the Pinots have a beautiful red fruited purity. It was a cool year. It was a small vintage. It wasn't quite as cool as 2020, and I think that I was talking about 2020 versus 2021 with some people on the weekend, and I think both of the vintages were really lovely and charming. 2020 was a little bit more difficult to get right, and I really like the wines from 2020, but I think I like 21 better. I think at the moment I'll probably prove myself wrong in a few years' time when I look at them next to each other and go, no, the 20s were better. I think they're both lovely. The 21s are not quite as pale coloured as the 2020s, but they still don't have the deep colour that some of our other vintages have. This wine I just think has got gorgeous brightness and freshness to it. We will look at the Garden Vineyard at some stage in the next box, and the McIntyre Vineyard. I thought we might do that for our pre-Christmas tasting. We'll just do a little twin pack or something like that. I haven't really worked it out, but we'll get there. So just while I'm waiting for this wine to continue to open up, I thought I'd let you know what's going on with the bottles behind me, because it looks rather festive, doesn't it? Bottles as birthday decorations? No. They're there because we are at that stage of the year where we have to order our labels for all of our bottlings that are happening at the end of this year, early next year, into sort of mid next year. So all the 2023s, plus any half bottle labels, plus any Magnum bottle labels, plus any. You guys are being really distracting, Jill and Richard. Then the conversation was getting louder and louder, and I'm like, I can't concentrate on what I'm thinking. Plus any back labels for export, plus we now have to fall in line with Queensland's new glass recycling program, which is starting as of the 1st of November. Thanks, Queensland. I think I whinged about that last week, so I won't go on about it again this week, but there's things that have to be done and back labels that have to be adjusted to fall into line with all of that. So it's a little bit of fun. Jeremy's laying out all the bottles. He's asked Richard and I to look at all the labels that we've got proofs for and make sure that they're all okay. Well, I think we found a couple of things that need to be fixed so far. Is that right, Richard? There was one label that was missing a line, which we weren't quite sure about, and just working out numbers. And we had a big discussion about magnums, which doesn't bear to be repeated now, but about how many, what would go in magnum if we had enough of the wines to bottle as 750 mils. And anyway, not sure if there'll be any magnums for 2023 vintage, but hopefully that's not going to upset anybody too much. We've got other magnums, so it'll be okay. What else? What else has happened this week? It feels like so many good things have happened this week. Oh, I did mean to tell you, we've talked to you about, I've verbalised the date for our next lunch, Sunday lunch, which is the release of the single vineyard Chardonnays that you might be wanting to come to. I will be sending out an email to start taking bookings for that next week. And we've shifted the date a little bit further away. We were going to do it on the 14th or 15th, whatever day that Sunday was. And we've moved it to the 29th because we can. No, because we thought it would be better to have a little bit more space between this amazing celebration that we've had this weekend and Drinks with Kate Live, and then the Chardonnay lunch. So 29th of October will be the Chardonnay lunch. If you're thinking about coming along for that, it'll be the release of the 2021 Chardonnays. We had a little preview of the McIntyre 21 Chardonnay on Monday, and it looked delicious. So, if you like Chardonnay and you like Jill's cooking, that'll be a good one to come to. Rob and Deb want to know how the growing season down here, how's the growing season down here shaping up, I reckon? Says Rob, I reckon. That sounds like Rob's voice. Rob and Deb, it's a little hard to say at the moment because so far the warm spell that we had up until a couple of days ago had brought everything on. We're a bit behind in our shoot thinning, which is a bit of a shame, but we'll get there. But the rain and the magpies are not making that very easy. And I told Jeremy he needs to talk to the magpies and be nice to them and make friends with them, because otherwise they'll keep sweeping him. I don't know if anybody else has any wisdom about that, but he's been waving sticks at them, and I think that's the wrong attitude. You need to make friends with magpies, and then they don't swoop. They know who you are, and you become all happy in the same space. Richard's got a comment, but you have to come over here to talk, Richard. Yes, magpies remember people. Exactly, Peter and Karen. You have to come here, and you need to put your face here, Richard, and you need to talk to the camera, because otherwise they can't hear you, and it's really...
I was just going to give you some information.
Yeah, give us some information. I'll eat this while you're talking.
Hi, everybody. this season started a week earlier than it usually does, almost the earliest ever that we've experienced. So yet another symptom of climate change, which makes us nervous, but I think we're doing okay so far.
Thank you. That's much better than him saying it over there and then me having to say it again, and I got to eat another mushroom thing and have a sip of wine. Apologies for the inelegance of that eating of the mushroom thing. Hopefully you were distracted by Richard. I think that we should be able to bribe the magpies as well. I've got a little group of magpies that come and visit, and I give them all the snails from the garden, and we're good friends. And even Polly stopped chasing them now, haven't you, Paul? So also, I think, in addition to Dad's little so far so good little weather report, it was declared yesterday, I think, by the Bureau of Meteorology that we are having an El Nino summer. And if that results in hotter, drier weather, hopefully it doesn't get too hot, but it'd be really nice to have some sunshine and clear, calm weather during flowering and fruit set this year, because that means we may very well get a decent crop of Chardonnay and Pinot Noir off the vineyards, which would be really nice. But we are a bit worried about the water situation. So, there's always something to worry about on the farm. So don't worry, we'll keep worrying. What else? Kate, I think if you put up some goal posts, they'll practice and leave you alone, Jeremy. Yeah, those bloody footballers, they just can't keep out of the vineyard. Thank you, Kate. Pocket Full of Shells says, Motley Fool keeps telling me to invest in Treasury Estate and I'm too nervous about climate change to commit. I'm not sure who Motley Fool is, Shell, but I'm sure it's someone who knows what they're talking about. But yeah, I'm not sure about investing in Treasury Estate because big wine companies are flip-flopping all over the place at the moment. Might be a great investment, might be a disaster. So I'm not going to get involved in giving you stock advice. No, Kay, I'm not doing that. I'm just going to say I reckon there'd probably be other businesses other than wine that might be safer to invest in, but don't take any. Go and talk to someone who knows what they're talking about as far as stocks and shares are concerned. Don't invest in fossil fuels, Dad reckons. Motley Fool. Yeah, you said Motley Fool. Motley Fool is. Yes, that's what I thought. Yes, thank you, Kay. I figure that Motley Fool knows more about stock investment than I do, but yeah, I reckon wine businesses are. Well, you might make a lot of money very quickly, or you might lose a lot of money very quickly. It's not going to be like gold, I don't think. No, Noreen, you cannot buy Moorooduc shares at this point in time. And probably not anytime in the near future. But, don't worry. If that ever becomes an opportunity, you'll be the first to know. Yes, I do know more about wine, Peter and Karen. That's true. Just wine. Only just. Buy wine to drink instead. I agree, Fiona. But there are lots of people who buy wine to invest into. I know, you're all crazy though. They want to invest in Moorooduc now, Dad. Should we go public? I think we'll just take the little step of going from a sole trader to being an actual business first of all, and then we'll see how we go from there. Not you, just wine, not shits in mood. Oh, fair enough, Alison. I think, Shell, weren't we all buying a winery a while back? I think that was one of Jeff's. I think you were actually buying a cheese factory and making cheeses a few years ago with Jeff. There might have been a winery involved as well. I try to keep out of those discussions. And Jeff hasn't joined us for a really long time. I know he's in the UK at the moment, but he's also very busy being a winemaker. himself. So we'll have to. Is he in Tuscany at the moment? Oh, in Tuscany. We're buying the winery, Alison. Yes, I think that sounds like a great idea. I think it was a Jeff and Craig conversation. Absolutely. Cheese factory and then a winery. So I'm very happy for Jeff and Craig to continue that conversation, and the rest of you can get on board as well. I'll just keep sitting here and talking to my computer about wine every Thursday night. As the wine opens up, the fruit is kind of softening off, but I think there's still beautiful wine flavored cheese. Yes, thank you, Peter. The logical conclusion from that conversation. Absolutely. Oh dear. Maybe we need an excursion to Jeff's winery one of these days. We'll go. Drinks with Kate goes to Macedon. How good is that? The duck ticker is still available on the ASX. Just saying, really excellent, interesting. Shell, I'll we'll keep thinking about that. Oh my God! So every time I do this, it always shocks and delights me that you get down to the last, and people always say, wait till you've finished your glass of wine before you top it up. But you let that last little bit in the bottom of the glass kind of looks a bit kind of sad, and then you top it up with a little bit more wine, and it just freshens the glass, and you get all that beautiful fruit aromatic jumping out again. It's really, really unreal. Kay, are you talking about Jeff's place? Because I haven't been there yet, and I would love to. I plan to go. It just hasn't happened yet. So maybe, maybe a little group trip. The wine is becoming more savoury. Oh, you finished the pizza, Cotty. The changes in flavour are just very beautiful. Yeah, road trip. Who's going to drive though? That's going to be the trick. Maybe we can get Jeff to charter a bus and pick us up from Moorooduc and get us up to him and back again. That'd be good promotion for him, wouldn't it? Andrew's going to drive. Excellent. All right, I'm going to have a little taste of this one with some of this lovely washed rind cheese that Mum's brought me as well, because I think it could work well. What's the cheese, Jill? Mountain Man from L'Artisan, washed rind cheese. Here we go. Live brainstorming. A Moorooduc bus. Noreen, we don't have a Moorooduc bus. Rob and Deb say that they've got. Yes, I've heard about their big barn. So we'll have to get and I believe Jeff has a pizza oven as well. So we could get him to make some pizzas for us. We could go up there, congregate in the big barn. He can make some pizzas for us. We can taste his wine and have another live Drinks with Kate event. I think that's an event for next year for sure. I'll let him know that he's doing it. He'll be delighted. He thought he got rid of us. Haha. That's interesting. I think a more upmarket version of the finger bus. Oh my God, Kay. It's very worrying. Ask Richard to make pizza. No, I think Jeff should make pizza dough. It would be more of a sort of a Jeff kind of event if he provides the pizzas and the pizza dough. We could have a pizza off. We could come back here and have Richard's pizza off. Oh no, that's too much pizza. We could give him the recipe. We could take him some of the starter, and then he could see what he does with it. I think that could be good. Got to say, the cheese and the wine kind of dumb each other down a little bit in this one. So that was interesting. You'll note that I didn't suggest washed rind cheese to go with this wine. I suggested a double or triple cream brie or a manchego or Sororati, something like that. And I think that I love a washed rind cheese, and I think they're much better with a Pinot Gris, like a nice Pinot Gris with a little bit of age. I think would be really good with that cheese, but not It's not dreadful with the wine at all. It just kind of flattens the wine out a little bit, and the wine flattens the cheese out a bit. No, I think it needs less acid, Fiona. For the cheese, the wine needs more acid in the cheese rather than the other way around. Yeah, but I think that because the cheese is kind of a bit. No, I think the cheese needs a wine with less acid and more unctuousness, because I think this wine's got quite a lot of acid. And it's kind of fighting with the acid's fighting with the washed rind kind of piquancy and aromatics, and it's not really doing good things. It's not doing terrible things. It's not doing great things. I bet the Tarago double cream brie would be fabulous with the wine, and yeah, that'd be delicious. Kangaroo Island aged cheddar, making the wine pop for Karen and Joan. That sounds good. Yes, Robin Deb. That's why I'm being a bit of a stirrer and saying we should go and get Jeff to make us pizzas, because I remember him saying how shocked he was by how much work it was and that he wouldn't be doing pizzas for functions in the future. But I think we should challenge him to do pizzas for us. I think if he's going to do pizzas for anyone, he should do pizzas for us, right? I'll send him the link to this tasting afterwards and tell him that he has to watch it so that he knows what he's in for. He owes us after abandoning us for Macedon. All right, team. What are we going to do next week? As we kind of, it feels like it's kind of unraveling into a teasing Jeff kind of a session. And the cheese conversation, I think, is very good. I think the wine is still looking delicious, but I'm noticing that we've been going for about just over 40 minutes. But we're not functions, we're friends, absolutely, Karen. So we'll Jeff's back from the UK next week, Linda. We'll give him a call on the day he gets back, just to really kind of make his jet lag really sing. Sonia enjoyed the washed rind. This washed rind cheese is the Lewin Estate Fruity Sauv Blanc. Yeah, I think that could work really well, actually. I'm not generally a huge fan of many Sauvignon Blancs, but I think the Lewin Estate Sauvignon Blanc is delicious. And I think also, a nice Sancerre or Puy Fumé, something like that from France would work really well with this cheese. White wine with washed rind cheese is my big recommendation. Whether it be a high class Sauvignon Blanc, whether it be a delicious full bodied Pinot Gris, whether it be a Chardonnay with a little bit of age and a bit of unctuousness to it. Even a Gewürztraminer would be beautiful with that cheese. Robin Deb, how about a wine I admire? You love being introduced to Garagiste, for instance. I think that's not a bad idea. I want to think of a wine then that's going to be not too hard for you guys to access if you want to. So that's going to be interesting. And I might even go a little bit left of centre and go for something that's really easy to source at Dan Murphy's and those bigger wine stores. There's a couple of wines actually that I think could be quite interesting and fun to look at, that are a bit more mainstream. We will come back to Robin Deb. I've been very slack this year with my guest wines. I have to admit, in my boxes of Drinks with Kate, I just haven't got myself organised to pin them down beforehand. We haven't done any guest wines. Peter and Karen, I know you don't like it, but Shiraz can get unlimited stuff here. I reckon we could do better than that, Peter and Karen. But let me have a think about it. I will reveal all on Monday. Hopefully on Monday. I'm doing a course on Monday, so I might have to work it out on Sunday and send it out early. We'll get together next week. It'll be a wine that you can. I know exactly what wine I'm going to do. I've just had a revelation. All right, I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to send you an email. I'm just going to check a couple of things. I will. Okay, Peter and Karen, BWS availability in Queensland. I will do. and we will do something fun and surprising next week, I reckon. All right, guys and girls and other folks and dogs. Hopefully there are some dogs watching still. I'm going to leave you to it. I've got one more mushroom, very savoury to eat, but I don't dare eat it in front of you. And cats. Sorry, cats. Hello, cats. Have a lovely week. I hope everybody's football team wins on the weekend, if anybody cares. And go Blues. And I will see you all next week with our very exciting wine selection. I will find something that hopefully everyone can find. Go Pies. Good on you, Peter. Cheers, everyone. And thanks again. See you soon.